A seventh house has been condemned because of a large sinkhole near Tampa, Florida.
Our world is now so high-tech because before, we didn't have the ability to see strange things, but now we can, thanks to modern technology. Because of modern drone technology, we can now see views and secrets from the sky that were once impossible to see. From deserts shaped like eyes, to towns with unusual designs, and even places that look like doors to another dimension, all of these have been seen thanks to technology. So join me on an amazing journey, but before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. This is a big help for us content creators. Thank you very much, and now let's get started. Blue Eye of Africa. In the middle of the vast Sahara Desert, you can find a unique formation called the Eye of the Sahara, or more popularly known as the Blue Eye of Africa. When viewed from the sky, especially using a drone, it looks like a gigantic eye staring out from the desert. It's so huge that it can even be seen from space. When the drone camera circles around, an almost perfect circle appears with concentric rings, like the lines of a giant masterpiece. Because of its shape, many initially thought it might have been created by a meteorite impact or perhaps an ancient volcano. But that was proven wrong because there were no traces of a meteorite. According to scientists, it is more likely that it formed due to millions of years of erosion and weathering of an ancient granite dome. The neat and even spacing of each ring further highlights the mystery and beauty of this structure. For geologists, it offers a glimpse into our world's past. The rocks surrounding it tell a long history of sedimentation, land uplift, and erosion processes. A natural masterpiece that both questions and explains how time has shaped our planet. Human-like town. On the island of Sicily in Italy, there is a small town called Centuripe. When you walk around it on the ground, it looks ordinary. Narrow streets, old houses, and walls filled with history. But when you look at it from above using a drone, the image suddenly becomes unusual. It's like the silhouette of a person lying down, as if drunk. This was first discovered by a local photographer named Andrea Perry. When he saw the unusual shape of their town on Google Earth, he immediately flew his drone to confirm it. He was right. The 5 main directions of Centuripe seem to represent the arms, legs, and body of a person. He had to connect them. He stitched together multiple drone shots to capture the full image. When he shared it online, it quickly went viral, and the place was called The Town That Looks Like a Human. And if anyone still has doubts, just one look at Google Earth is enough to see this amazing shape for themselves. Centuripe, which has a history dating back to the 16th century and now has 5,000 residents, was already known for its Roman artifacts and ancient sculptures. But what was discovered brought a new mystery. Is this just an accident of natural geography? Or did the ancient builders intentionally create this design? One thing is clear. Even in the smallest towns, nature and history can hide surprises that aren't immediately visible at first glance. The big face. Imagine flying a drone and suddenly seeing a giant face emerging from the ground as if carved into nature. This is what you can see at Hylas Quarry Park in Edinburgh, Scotland. According to local legend, there was a hermit or a person who lived alone inside the quarry cave when it was still an active mine. There is no clear evidence about his true identity, but he became part of the stories of the workers back then. This quarry dates back to 1750, and at the height of its operation, up to 150 people worked here every year. More than 100,000 tons of stone were taken from here every year. But after the severe flooding in 1902, it was permanently closed. After many years, it was even used as a garbage dump until the 70s. Eventually, it was turned into a public park. And as a tribute to the legend of the hermit, a face was designed and placed there as if he himself is watching over the former quarry. Whether his story is true or not, It's clear that the image of the big face has served as a symbol of history and legend that continues to this day. In the middle of the Turkmenistan desert, there is a seemingly endless fire that the locals call the door to hell. This is not a volcano, but a massive hole that has been burning continuously for more than 4 decades. It all started in 1971 when a Soviet oil rig collapsed into a natural gas field. To prevent the poison from the gas from spreading, the geologists decided to set it on fire, thinking the flames would die out after just a few weeks. But instead of dying out, the fire still burns today. The crater is about 76 meters wide, and even from the edge you can feel the heat and hear the loud roar of the flames. Around it, thousands of small flames flicker, and at the very bottom, there are 2 large fires said to be the exact spot where the rig collapsed. Many tourists come here, and they say it's like standing in front of a doorway to hell. It's a sight that's both fascinating and terrifying, and there's no doubt it deserves its nickname, the Gate to Hell. Nazi bunkers. In the dense forests of Poland, drones have discovered hidden Nazi bunkers from World War II. They were long covered by vegetation and time, but now they've reappeared, revealing a dark part of history. This is part of what was called the East Wall, a defense system built by the Nazis to stop the advance of Soviet forces. Inside the ruins, various artifacts were discovered, from old weapons and soldiers' personal belongings to documents and maps that illustrate the strategies used back then. Included here are old propaganda posters and rusty machinery that seem to be frozen witnesses of the past. For historians, the discoveries here are very important because they provide a clear picture of how Nazi soldiers lived and fought underground. Every document and item unearthed serves as a piece of the puzzle that helps us understand the real operations, plans, and sacrifices during the war. A reminder of how deep the wounds left by history are in these places. Secret Pink Lake. While we're used to seeing the sea and lakes in blue, the scene is very different at Lake Hillier in Western Australia. Because its water is pink, from the sky it looks like a huge drop of cotton candy floating next to the ocean. This is caused by nature, not chemicals. The secret behind its unique color is the combination of high salt levels and microscopic organisms, like Dunaliella, Salina algae, and some bacteria that release a reddish pigment. The result is water that appears permanently pink, even when you pour it into a glass. Entering the lake without permission is prohibited because it is a protected area. That's why drones are a big help in showcasing its beauty. From above, you can see the stunning contrast of the pink lake, green forest, and blue ocean. For scientists, this is not just a view, but also a subject for research. The organisms living here have the ability to withstand extreme salinity, and according to some studies, they might provide insights into whether life is possible on other planets with extreme conditions. Giant sinkhole. At first glance, the ground seems solid and safe beneath our feet, but in some places there are hidden dangers that suddenly open up. These are called sinkholes. These form when rocks beneath the ground, like limestone or salt, slowly dissolve because of water flowing underneath. When the ground can no longer support the weight above it, it suddenly collapses and a deep hole appears. This often happens in Florida. Houses, roads, and even swimming pools are suddenly swallowed by the ground. But one of the most astonishing examples is the giant hole that appeared in the Yamal Peninsula in Siberia in 2014. It is over 100 feet wide and 150 feet deep. It is believed to have been caused by the melting of permafrost and the release of gas from underground. What's even more terrifying is that a wooden ladder was found going down into the depths. But until now, no one knows how it got there. Hidden chambers of Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore is known for the 4 faces of former American presidents carved into the mountain. But what many people don't know is that there's a secret behind those faces, a hidden chamber that was never finished. The sculptor Gutzon Borglum actually had bigger plans beyond just the faces. He wanted to carve a giant door that was 18 feet tall. It would lead into a room that was 35 feet high and 75 feet long. This room was supposed to be a hall of records where America's important documents and artifacts would be kept. A kind of time capsule for future generations, or even for beings from another world. He also planned to put a massive inscription and a staircase that would reach 800 feet. But because of funding problems and his sudden passing in 1941, none of it was realized. Only the president's faces were completed. The rear chamber stayed unfinished. A quiet reminder of a more ambitious dream for the monument. Human skeletons in a remote cave in the Canary Islands, Spain. A shocking discovery was found using a drone. A burial cave containing the bones of 72 people. This includes 62 adults and 10 infants, which according to studies belong to the people known as the Guanche, the ancient inhabitants of the island who disappeared after the Spanish conquest. It is estimated that the cave was used as a burial site as early as between 800 and 1000 AD. The discovery here is significant because it is rare to find the remains of infants in previous excavations. Ancient shrouds were also among those unearthed, or wrappings made from plant fibers and animal skins, which prove how important the burial ritual was to them. For archaeologists, every piece of cloth and bone tells the story of a culture that has long disappeared. It serves as a reminder that even in remote caves, the history of people who once lived on these islands is still hidden. The Apennine Colossus. In Italy stands a gigantic statue called the Apennine Colossus, a giant carved from stone like a guardian of nature. It was made during the Renaissance by the sculptor Giambologna. He was inspired by the legend about the Apennine Mountains, which according to the story were once conquered by Roman soldiers. For Giambologna, the statue symbolizes an old giant observer, a symbol of the wisdom and strength of nature. It stands 35 feet tall and looks almost lifelike when you gaze at it. Its face, which appears tired and serious, leaves a unique impression on visitors. It's not just an art piece, but a reminder of how people have blended art and nature to create a masterpiece that lasts for hundreds of years. Confluence in Geneva. In Geneva, Switzerland, there's a site that seems like a work of art by nature, the merging of two rivers, the Rhone and the Arves. When viewed from a drone, you can clearly see the striking contrast in the color of the water. The Rhone River, coming straight from Lake Geneva, is turquoise and crystal clear. Meanwhile, the Arve River, which flows down from the Alps, is brown and full of sediment. When the two rivers meet, they don't mix right away, but run side by side, and you can still clearly see the line separating the blue and the brown water. From above, it looks like a natural canvas of paint, but it's not just for the eyes. Scientists also use drone footage to better understand hydrodynamics, or how the flow, temperature, and sediment of the two rivers interact. This is important for environmental monitoring and conservation efforts, because these natural processes affect the animals and plants living around the river. The drone, through clear aerial shots, becomes a bridge for better understanding. People should understand nature's behavior. Primitive tribe. Discovered deep in the Amazon rainforest, a strange discovery was made using a drone, a tribe isolated from the modern world. While conducting a survey, the Brazilian agency in charge of indigenous communities noticed a small clearing in the middle of the forest near the Jurueno River from the drone. There, they saw signs of a tribe they had long been searching for. But avoiding contact with the outside world, the drone captured simple wooden houses, vegetable gardens, and areas clearly prepared by people. Even before this, artifacts like stone axes and old canoes had been unearthed as signs of their existence, but it was only now clearly confirmed through aerial photos. It is estimated that there are about 70 similar tribes in Brazil who have chosen to remain isolated to protect their way of life. A drone became the way to observe their way of life without directly affecting them. It's a reminder that in the midst of modern technology, there are still people living in ways that have hardly changed for thousands of years. In Bell Canyon, a dangerous incident was discovered by the drone. A hiker was trapped inside a cave after a sudden rock slide. While surveying the area, the drone operators noticed small movements near the entrance of the cave. When they zoomed in, they saw a person struggling to get out and looking extremely exhausted. They immediately informed the rescue team. Using the footage from the drone, the rescuers identified the exact location of the hiker and the easiest route to get there. Carrying ropes and climbing gear, they carefully approached the cave and successfully got close. Afterward, they brought the hiker out from the dark and narrow passage. After his rescue, he was quickly taken for medical care and recovered. This incident served as an example of how important modern technology is in situations like these. With the help of the drone, the problem was quickly identified, the rescue team was given directions, and a life that was almost lost was saved. Mission Grotto in Gansu province of China, hidden on the side of steep cliffs. These are ancient caves known as Mission Grotto. It is filled with detailed sculptures and Buddhist murals that are almost 1,600 years old. Because of the distance and difficulty in reaching it, it is a big challenge for experts to preserve these caves. But nowadays, the use of drones has helped a lot. It can fly to places that people can't reach and capture high-resolution images of the cave's walls and ceiling. In 2018, the drone even helped prevent an impending landslide caused by heavy rain. If it hadn't been detected in time, part of the grotto could have been buried, and some artworks could have been completely destroyed. Through modern technology, these ancient treasures are preserved and protected. Each aerial shot serves as an eye watching over the treasures of history, so they remain intact and can still be seen by future generations. The spring that breathes. In Afton, Wyoming, there is a unique natural wonder called the spring that breathes, a spring that seems to breathe. This unusual spring has a unique rhythm. It flows strongly for 15 to 20 minutes, then suddenly stops, and after that, the flow returns again. This cycle repeats as if the earth is breathing. According to scientists, this mystery is caused by a natural siphon effect underground. When an underground reservoir fills with water, the strong surge of the spring begins. Afterwards, when the water level drops, it stops until it fills up again and starts to flow once more. With the help of a drone, this amazing scene can now be captured from above. From the aerial view, the entire landscape is better showcased, the clean surroundings of Wyoming, and the unique cycle of the spring. For tourists, this is an amazing experience. For scientists, this is a rare opportunity to better understand the workings of nature. Aramu Muru Portal. In the south of Peru, near Lake Titicaca, there is a mysterious place called the Aramu Muru Portal, also known as the Gate of the Gods. From the air, you can see a massive door carved into a pink-colored rock. It stands 22 feet tall, and the carvings are so clean that it seems like they were made using modern equipment. But until now, it's still unclear who made it and when. Some say it was created by the Incas or by the much older Tiwanaku civilization. There's also a legend that Emperor Pachacuti used it for a spiritual journey. Because of its unusual appearance, some people also believe that it might be an interdimensional doorway, or even made by beings from another world. But for scientists, it's more likely a natural result of tectonic movements in the Earth. Whatever the truth, Aramu Muru still inspires mystery and curiosity. The drone footage capturing its scenery also seems to open a door for us. It's an invitation to discover more of the secrets of the past. Kalahari Desert's fairy circles. In the Kalahari Desert, thousands of fairy circles can be seen from the sky, circles that seem to be painted by nature itself in the middle of the arid land. From the drone view, the scenery is captivating. These are circular shapes with no plants in the center, but surrounded by greener grass. The origin of these has long been a mystery to scientists. Some believe they are made by white ants that alter the soil around them. But according to another theory, this is a natural adaptation of the grasses to make their absorption of water in the desert more effective. In the past 50 years, many experiments have been conducted to solve the mystery of the fairy circles. And using a drone, it was shown more clearly how they spread across almost 1,100 meters of grassland. According to Dr. Gutan, an ecologist, the circular shape is said to be the result of the plant's own intelligent water management system. It's like nature's own vacuum system to survive extreme heat and lack of rain. If before it was believed to be the work of mysterious creatures, now there is clearer evidence that this is proof of nature's amazing ability to adapt. Each circle is not just a sight to see, but a secret of nature that is now slowly being revealed. A 1,000-year-old village in New Mexico, United States of America. A drone with a thermal camera discovered a clearer image of an ancient Pueblo village called Blue Jay. This community is estimated to be over 1,000 years old. It was first identified in the 1970s, but because it was covered by sandstone and vegetation, it was difficult to study the entire area. In the new thermal images from the drone, the clear arrangement of houses surrounding a spring, which was once the center of their community, was seen. There are more than 60 houses surrounding it, and according to experts, there may be a hidden ceremonial structure underground, something that is not usually seen in other Pueblo sites. This discovery provides a new perspective on the culture and rituals of the ancient indigenous people in America. While studies are still ongoing, drone technology is providing a new perspective to see details that could not be seen before. The Guhua Caves. In the mountains of Jundu near Beijing, there is a vast network of caves known as the Guhua Caves. More than 110 chambers are connected here, all carved into steep cliffs. According to historians, the caves are more than 1,000 years old, but to this day it remains a mystery who really built them and for what purpose. Inside there are rooms with windows, beds carved out of stone, and signs that suggest a well-organized community once lived here. There are various theories. Some say it was a military outpost, while others believe it was built as a refuge for persecuted people. Because of its vastness and organized layout, it's clear that those who built this had a high level of knowledge. Through the use of drones, more hidden rooms and passageways that can't be seen from the ground have been discovered. With every new aerial survey, the vastness and brilliance of this structure become even clearer. A strong testament to the intelligence and perseverance of ancient people, and a mystery that continues to inspire awe. Gunung Padang, 120 kilometers from Jakarta, on the island of Java, Indonesia, there is a mysterious place called Gunung Padang. At first glance, it just looks like a mountain with scattered rocks. But according to research, this could possibly be one of the oldest human-made monuments in the world. There are local legends that say these stones have a strange energy, and when struck, they produce sounds like music. But the more shocking theory is that this mountain could be man-made, built using volcanic rock thousands of years ago. If true, it could be even older than the pyramids of Egypt. It might be as much as 20,000 years old. If proven, this would overturn our understanding of the history of ancient civilization. Because of this, many archaeologists and scientists continue to research Gunung Padang. And with every new discovery, the question deepens. How long has human history really been?